It's Platt, and today we're going to try a beer from New Belgium Brewing that was recommended by one of you, the viewers. That's next on Platt's Beer of the Week. Alright, so before we get going, I want to thank viewer Ray D for suggesting our beer this week, the New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA. If you have a beer you want to suggest, please leave it in the comments section below. I will try to get to it, especially if I can find it here in Las Vegas. That's probably the one thing that might stop me. Like I said, we're trying the Voodoo Ranger IPA from New Belgium. New Belgium Brewing is probably most known for their Fat Tire Amber Ale. It is by far their most popular beer and probably one of the most popular craft beers out there. The brewery itself was founded in 1991 by a then husband and wife duo of Jeff Liebisch and Kim Jordan. Over the years, they grew the brewery to where it is today, which is the fourth largest craft brewery in the U.S. and just overall one of the larger breweries in America. They've expanded the operation to the point where now there's two breweries. There's the mothership in Fort Collins, Colorado, and a second brewery in Asheville, North Carolina, to cater toward the East Coast demand. One thing about the brewery and reputation it has is being very eco-friendly. They've been awarded several certificates and awards for sustainability, energy efficiency, etc. One of the things researching this that kind of stood out to me was that in 2013, the brewery became completely 100% owned by the employees. For years, they'd had what's called an ESOP, Employee Stock Option Program, and the employees were always heavily involved in the brewery business. But Kim Jordan decided that she eventually wanted to give the brewery to the employees themselves and have it an employee-ran business, which it is today. I think that's something that's very neat. Hopefully something we may see more of in the future, not just from breweries, but business in general. Before we try this beer, let's go over the stats. Okay, we're back. One of the things I noticed when I was researching this beer, I went to the New Belgium website. One of the things that I like that they do that I don't see in a lot of other, in necessarily all the breweries' websites, especially the European websites. Recently, I tasted a couple Oktoberfest beers from Germany, and you go on their website looking for information, you'll find information about the brewery and some of their products, but if you look up the beers, they'll tell you what the style of the beer is and sometimes the ABV, but that's about it. On the New Belgium site, they told me the beer style, the ABV, the IBU, which is bitterness level, SRM, which tells me about the color, and even give me information about the hops. There's actually 6 different hops that goes in this beer. Nugget, Cascade, Simcoe, Mosaic, Chinook, and Amarillo. Now, to some people that doesn't really mean much, but if you're a home brewer or wanting to get into home brewing, this is a really great way to kind of taste a beer and then like, all right, well, that has this type of hop. Now I'm getting this kind of taste. Even if you have multiple hops in there, you still kind of understand, well, this hop is working with this style of beer. When you start home brewing, it's something that kind of becomes important, and you'll learn it because, all right, well, I'm putting a Amarillo hop in this beer, and then I'll drink that beer. All right, that's what. But this is a great way to kind of gain that knowledge in a practical sense. If you, let's say, want to get into Cicerone training, you're not a home brewer, but want to get into Cicerone training. Again, a great way to understand what hops go with what beers, and just kind of start getting a handle on these different hop strains and what they bring to a beer. The Voodoo Ranger itself is a fairly new beer. Back in 2017, New Belgium kind of rotated some beers out, brought some new beers in. The Voodoo Ranger IPA is a replacement for the Ranger IPA. I believe they have several of the Voodoo Rangers. I believe there's an Imperial IPA and a couple others. So This is a newer beer for New Belgium. Let's give her a try. Alright, we got nice light amber color. A kind of thin, very light khaki head. Let's check the nose. Oh wow, we're getting a lot of those hops in there. These particular hops are kind of classic to the West Coast IPA style compared to your noble hops that are used for more of an English style IPA, what have you. Let's give her a try. Well, that's a nice beer. Refreshing, fairly easy drinking. Enough malt though that the hops aren't beating me in the head. Full disclosure, I'm not the biggest IPA guy because I just think the categories kind of got overdone. And I remember a few years back going to the Great American Beer Fest, and it was just like an arms race with hops, and I think that's gotten out of hand. But that's not this beer. This beer is nice balance. It's still more hop intensive, which one IPA, you know, especially these, even though it's made in Colorado, the more the kind of West Coast IPA, you know, generally more hop intensive, but again, it's not out of whack. Yeah, the bitterness works. Like I said, there's enough malt. This beer is 7% alcohol by volume, but I can't taste it. I can't feel it. There's no warming in the chest, so it's still a drinkable beer. No way a session beer, but still very drinkable. The finish is medium. Yeah, overall I get just a nice bit of those malts. The shade is some of the darker malts. I get a little bit of that caramel, a little bit of that toffee, but in a complimentary sense. Overall, a real nice beer. And again, for a guy who's not the biggest IPA fan, I could definitely drink these. Well, I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe down below. And like I said, if you have a beer suggest, also please leave that in the comment section. Also, please like the video because it lets YouTube know we're putting out good content. Any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section, or you can always contact me on the Twitter page. Till next time, bottoms up.